The path to $1 million portfolio can be a very hard task for most people, but what if I show you the way to get to $1 million portfolio without having to spend too much of your time or invest a lot of your money? So that's what we're going to see in this video today. But first, let's get updated. Roundhill Weekly Pay Universe ETF. This ETF, you can see here, this is 1 month chart. It came around $50. Today is at $54.20. That means has gained about $4. As you can see, the chart here seems to be pretty healthy. So we're going to see what this ETF invests in and what it has to offer. This is a brand new ETF, came out not too long ago. I made a video about this. If you're interested to know ins and outs of this ETF, I'm going to leave a link in description below. Since it came out, has ranged between $50.27 to $54.20. Today's volume was over 300,000 and average volume is closer to 200,000. So it has a pretty healthy volume for an ETF like this. One of the very important things for any of these income ETFs is distributions, because whenever it comes out, we don't know exactly how much they're going to pay. But fortunately, today, Roundhill Investment has announced distribution for this ETF. So ex-date and record date is tomorrow, September 16th. That means you have to have owned this ETF by the end of tomorrow, and pay date is Wednesday, September 17th. So this is another ETF that's going to pay on Wednesday, where now Roundhill has a bunch of ETFs. There are some ETFs on Monday. There's ETF that pay Tuesday. There's some ETF that's going to pay on Wednesday, and I believe Thursday, and also you're gonna get paid on Friday. So Roundhill is one of the best ETF providers, especially for income investors, that you can actually get income every day of the week. How much they're going to pay? They're going to pay 54 cents. And I'm going to show you in a bit how much yield that it is. For people who are not familiar with this ETF, WPAY, Weekly Pay Universe ETF. This is overview. The Roundhill Weekly Pay Universe ETF seeks to track the performance of the selective Roundhill Weekly Pay Universe Index. WPAY is designed to invest in eligible universe of single stock weekly pay ETFs. I'm going to show those ETFs in a bit. And the main reason why you should invest in this ETF, first, it does pay weekly distributions. WPAY pays distribution every week, offering recurring income stream for shareholders. Diversification. WPAY offers diversified exposure to the entire suite of Roundhill Weekly Pay ETFs. So this is very important word here, entire suite of Roundhill Weekly Pay ETFs. For people who don't know those ETFs, I'm going to show you those ETFs in a bit. The third reason why you should own this ETF is seamless. WPAY rebalanced monthly to equal weight, ensuring consistent exposure to all single stock weekly pay ETF in a single ticker. So instead of you buying those single ETFs, because there are, I think, 10 of them. So if you buy all of them, you're going to have a headache of rebalancing. But with this ETF, everything is going to be rebalanced for you on a monthly basis. So it's pretty easy for you. Now, if you look at the distribution rate based on the last distribution they are going to pay, it's 52.22. Not bad for an ETF like this. And for people who are familiar with YieldMax ETF, there is an ETF called YMax. YMax, which is very competitor to this ETF, has pretty much the same yield between 52 to 60. Now, here's more information about this fund. So the ticker symbol here is WPAY. Primary exchange is SIBO, and gross expense ratio is 1.28. Net expense ratio is 0.99. Asset management here is 37.36. This is how much money this ETF has accumulated. So it has accumulated quite a bit of money since it came out. I think when it came out, it had only a few millions. Now it's going to 37 million. And for these Roundhill ETFs, they usually don't have huge, they're not as popular as YieldMax ETFs, because I know one of the popular YieldMax ETFs, they're like 5 to 6 billion. Okay, this is the day it was incepted, or it came out, was September 4th, 2025. So today we are September 15th. So it's been out for about 2 weeks. Can you do option on this ETF? No, you cannot. And management style is passive. Before I forget, I want to mention something about the net expense ratio and gross expense ratio, 1.28 and 0.99. If we scroll all the way up here on this official Roundhill website, WPAY management fee waived to zero until at least September 30th, 2026. So you have 1 year where you are not going to pay a management fee for this ETF. But remember, this ETF is a fund of funds. fund, they're underlying ETFs. Those underlying ETFs, you're paying fees, but this one, you're not going to pay management fees. Pretty much what they're trying to say here, you're not paying fees directly and you're going to pay indirectly. Now, top holdings, as I've mentioned, this is a fund of fund. Invest in Roundhill Weekly Pay ETFs. These are ETFs that Roundhill has that pay weekly, and they do have other ones, but those ones have different category because those are 0 day to expiry cover call ETFs. These are single stock ETFs. As you can see here, they have Avgo, they have Google, Tesla, Palantir, Apple, Meta, Amazon, Robinhood, Berkshire Hathaway, Microsoft. Avgo has outperformed other ETFs and right now has the highest weight at 8%, and the least underperformer here in this group is Microsoft. You see is lagging behind at 6%, but all in all they are pretty close. But every month what they're going to do is they're going to rebalance either by adding more money to the underperformers or maybe selling the outperformers and using the proceed to buy the underperformers. But most likely what they're going to do is to put new money that this ETF is going to get. As of now, we've seen they have like a 38 million. So they're going to be more money investor putting in. They're going to take that amount and invest in underperformers to catch up with outperformers. So that's how they're going to rebalance this ETF. Distribution frequency or schedule. The first distribution is September 17th. And going forward, next distribution they're going to pay on September 24th. The following one, October 1st. Another October 8th and October 15th. And going forward, and every time they announce these distributions, I'm going to keep you up to date with that. But in order for you not to miss, make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit the bell button so you can always receive notification whenever I release new videos. And if you like this type of content, as always, please smash the like button and don't forget to share with someone you think this video might help. So now let me show you a very interesting part, and this is the math, how much you need to invest to generate a weekly income with this ETF. That's the number one I'm going to show you using the spreadsheet and using the numbers that we have, and this is based on average we have as of today. Now I'm going to show you another spreadsheet or another math that you can invest today and let your money grow for 6 to 7 years and turn into $1 million portfolio. And that's the magic of compounding. The first thing we're going to look here is distribution they're going to pay today is 54. This is going to be our average, and the price of today is 54.74. So this ETF came around $50. If you add the distribution they pay today with the price appreciation, that means you have gained about 10%. So it's not that huge because this is only first time they are paying. Now, if we come down here, average distribution is only 54 cents. Annual yield is 52%. Asset management is 37.36. Now we are going to use our annual yield to calculate how much you're going to make by investing a certain amount of money. So here, income projection for 2025. If you invest $10,000, you're going to get 185 shares, and that will give you weekly income of $100. Annual income, not too impressive, is only $5,081. If you want substantial amount of income, then you add that amount to 100,000. That's going to give you 1,845 shares, and that's $996 per week or 51,800 per year. But even that amount is not going to be a lot of money for some people to retire. But I can say if you're making 51,000 USD per year, and let's say you're getting another income from, let's say, Social Security or other type of income, that will boost your income massively, that you will be able to retire even after paying taxes, because you're going to pay taxes maybe around whatever 30% of that or 25%. I don't know how much you're going to pay taxes, depends on your tax rate. So let's say you're receiving 30,000 from that, then you might be able to get by. But if you want to get a substantial amount of money, then you put about 150, and that's going to give you about 1,500 per week or 77,000 per year. So even if you pay taxes, you're going to still have $50,000 to use. So that can be quite a bit of an income for some people. But let's go all the way to 200, that's 103. If you put 250, that's 129. And I can just stop here because if you get 129, that's a lot of money for most people. Now we can go all the way down to 500,000. That's going to give you 259 or 4,000 per week. So quite a bit of money. So this is how you can generate income using a lump sum as of today. But now, not everyone has this amount of cash. Some people won't have 25,000 or 50,000 or 100,000. Let's say you have just a little bit of money and you want to invest and let your money grow, how much your portfolio can turn into $1 million portfolio, which you can retire in the future. I'm going to show you that. As I've mentioned earlier, some people don't have a lot of money to invest to generate the income needed today, but you want to invest and have your portfolio grow for, let's say, 7 years. Now you're going to put $30,000 here, and our annual yield is about 52% compounded weekly, because WePay pays weekly distributions. Number of months, I put 84 months. So within 7 years, your portfolio is going to turn into 1,122,000. So that's a pretty impressive within just 7 years, and you put $30,000. You don't add any money. All you do is to reinvest all those distributions. But you can change. For example, if I put $50,000, let's see how much that is going to be. If you put $50,000 here, and we do the calculation, you're going to have 187, closer to 2 million, right? So it depends on how much you put. For example, if you invested $10,000, of course, you're not going to have $1 million portfolio. You're going to have only 375 within 7 years. So in order for you to have $1 million, investing a little bit of money, that means you need to extend your time. Let's say you go to 92 months. Right, and then you have like $500,000. You have to go to like 110 maybe, and that's going to give you $1 million portfolio. So the lower you invest here, the longer it's going to take you to be a millionaire. And of course, the more you invest, the quicker or the shorter is going to take you to be a millionaire. Very simple. So guys, I just made this video to give you a quick update on WePay first distribution they're going to pay. And also I show you income projection. And there are two ways to do that. The first one is to invest your lump sum and generate weekly income as of today. Or you can invest a certain amount of money and let your portfolio grow and compound. And within just a few years, you'll be a millionaire. And again, this video is just for guidance. And all these numbers I use here, just estimate. There's no guarantee that you're going to make this type of income or growth from this ETF. If you want to invest in this ETF, make sure you do your own research, because this video is just for educational and is not meant as financial advice. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next video. Bye bye.